India's Enforcement Directorate raided multiple locations in New Delhi, Mumbai, Ahmedabad and the Guptas' ancestral home in Saharanpur in Uttar Pradesh. Now, the operations were carried out under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act following a mutual legal assistance request from South African authorities. Let's cross once more to our correspondent in New Delhi, Ishan Gaj. Ishan, good morning once more. So, just for the benefit of our South African viewers, just how extensive are the properties that the Guptas own in India?
Well, their ancestral home in Saharanpur, which is roughly 200 kilometers away from here, is a palatial-sized home, and the value of it could be in tens of millions of dollars. It's situated bang in the middle of the city, and apart from that, they're also understood to own several properties, especially in northern India. Now, it is quite unclear how many properties there might be, so the exact valuation would be difficult. But what they do own is that home in Saharanpur, and then more properties in a state called Uttarakhand, and there are reports suggesting that they are quite involved in the real estate industry in India generally. So their overall valuation of the real estate owned in India could be in millions of dollars at the very least.
Ishan, has there been any political reaction in India given the family's profile and, of course, past controversies here in South Africa?
Well, we haven't seen any political reactions come from the Indian political fraternity because the Gupta family doesn't really have that kind of political connections here. But what is expected, however, is that the people who have been named in this investigation by India's Enforcement Directorate, especially a man called Piyush Goyal, he has been described as a politically connected businessman with ties potentially to the Indian opposition party, the Indian National Congress. Now, these are all allegations, and this is all mentioned in the reports. Of course, the Goyals and the India's opposition parties would deny these allegations. But what the Enforcement Directorate has alleged that this man Piyush Goyal, who is considered a politically active person, he has helped allegedly carry out money laundering operations between New Delhi, South Africa and the United Arab Emirates. We've yet to see any political reactions so far, but because Indian authorities have been acting on a legal assistance request from South African authorities, there certainly seems to be political activity ongoing between India's diplomats and their South African counterparts as far as cooperation on this investigation is concerned.
And just with regard to the government, yes, they are now cooperating with South Africa, but has there been any other indications of what this means and how the Indian government is positioning itself with regard to this, with regard to Interpol's involvement and a broader crackdown, Ishan?
Well, Indian government has not made any comments on the Gupta case so far, but the government has in the past said that it is taking a very strong stance against international crimes. And the chief among them, of course, is money laundering operations. And in the past few months, we have seen the Indian government cracking down severely on people, on businesses that it has accused of laundering money overseas. In this case as well, we are seeing the involvement of India's Enforcement Directorate, which is the top body responsible for cracking down on money laundering operations, and we understand that they are looking at a complex financial network of shell companies, fake companies based in India as well as abroad, to try and understand if there is any money laundering angle to the Gupta brothers' activities here. Two companies that we understand are within the radar of the Enforcement Directorate. They include a company called JJ Trading and another company called World Window Group. And these two companies are alleged to have been involved in Gupta brothers' network of companies that could have been carrying out these financial crimes. Indian government is usually very tight-lipped about the investigations for as long as they are ongoing, but there might be some comments from the government once they have been able to frame the charges either against the Gupta brothers or their alleged co-conspirators.
Well, Ishan, thanks so much for that update from New Delhi, our correspondent there, Ishan Gaj.